And we are back. Matt McCarthy, Steve Lewis, Dan Power, and Brian Ray. Guys, I caught up with Dylan Fawsitt of Rugby United New York after they scrimmaged against each other out in Jersey City, New Jersey, where the home of the Statue of Liberty. Have a look at this. Dylan Fawsitt, the Butcher, Captain Rugby United New York, here in Jersey City on the eve of the season finally kicking off. Dylan, you got to be excited about this.
Yeah, man, it's been a long time coming out. It's a crazy year, but the organisation has set us up to succeed, Matt. Really recruited well, and our facilities are top class. So it's been a testing and tough time with obviously manoeuvring through the COVID protocols and the weather. But other than that, the boys have really come together, and I think we're gonna do just nicely.
Yeah, you mentioned the weather. Today is not indicative of what you guys have been going through. You've been shoveling snow, you've been sprinting in freezing cold weather, playing in cold weather, but now things are seemingly coming together. You got a big game against San Diego in Las Vegas. The likes of yours truly will be in Austin, Texas, calling the game. So we're doing all we can to get this thing off the ground. What is your biggest concern on the pitch about the team?
I don't have any concerns. I'm just looking forward to it at this stage. I really back our boys. I think we've got some great combinations going, and we're just itching for a game at this stage. Yeah, could be a bit rusty, but it's just how do we react in certain situations, and I believe the boys are going to be ready to go.
This whole COVID thing, do you look at each other and say, all right, who's got cooties, who's skivats, as they say here in Jersey City, or is it business as usual?
I think it's just become part of your everyday as being a pro. You've got to do everything you can to make sure that everybody's safe. It's you're letting the team down. It's not just like you're letting yourself down. So everybody just bands up, does everything they can to be the ultimate pro, and just gets to work. So I can be really proud of the boys. We're 0 for 10 I think on tests, and long may it continue.
A lot of changes in the off season. We know about Coach McWilliams stepping aside to take care of the family. What was the initial reaction with you guys on that?
Firstly, Matt, I think Greg made, I want to thank him, and I believe he made the bravest decision a man can make, is putting his family first, and us as an organisation, and me as I look at him as a mentor and a friend. We're ultimately so proud of him. No, excuse me, that's how much we feel about him, and he's set us up to succeed, and we wish him every luck, the best of luck to him and his family, and especially Sarah, getting through this tough time.
Well, if there's a precedent set about champions in the league with coaches, you got the Seattle Seawolves, who basically had no head coach for 3 seasons, right? So
yeah, to be honest, I don't really care what anybody else is doing. All I know is what we're doing. I back Marty Veal to the hill. I back our boys. There's every man here in the leadership is stepping up. Everybody's getting their hands dirty because we want this. The organisation, like I said, has set us up to succeed. So there's we can sit here and make all the excuses, but there's no man doing that. Everybody's stepping up and everybody's getting it done. So it's an exciting time. I'm really, really looking forward to it.
Well, I got to tell you, getting back to normal as we know it is talking rugby with the Butcher, Mr. Dylan Fawsitt. And Dylan, I can't wait to see you on the back of a rolling maul into the try-zone.
Looking forward to it too, Matt. Cheers, great to see it.
Dan, he means business.
Yeah, how about that? You can tell there's a lot of intensity, and I know the Butcher's always a pretty intense customer, but just some steel about him this year. I think it's going to be a big year for him personally. He's got a lot of, I'm sure, private goals that he wants to hit, and then team goals as well. So I would not want to be on the receiving end of one of the Butcher's slices of meat this season, that's for sure.
And Steve, he's about to be a new dad.
That is correct. He has got the pitter-patter of tiny butcher feet in the distance.
What does that sound? That's going to be, our sound department's going to have a fun time researching that one. But yeah, he's gung-ho, and that's a good sign. He keeps the guys, he keeps them on their toes, wouldn't you say, during scrimmages and trainings?
Yeah, I mean, he sets the standard, right? Dan said intensity. That's what he's all about. He's a good footballer as well, but he brings it every practice, every meeting. Trust me. that's why he's a good man to have in your squad. That's why we wanted to give him a longer term deal, and he's the heart and soul of this team, and I'm glad he's part of it.
And Brian, I as a fellow pundit, you can understand. I was a little bit scared, but at the same time, the blue mask made his eyes just pop.
Yeah, maybe he's just throwing a little bit of love out to the Toronto Arrows with his blue mask on there, or maybe I'm just stealing that. But man, it might be scary just to be at practice with Dylan out there. But I hope some of that angry Irishman rubs off on the token Canadian on the team, Quinton Watson, because I've got a lot of hopes for him. So yeah, I'm liking the passion I see from the Butcher.
All right, guys, that was the Butcher, Dylan Fawsitt. And that's a rugby wrap-up on this segment, but check out our other segments this week featuring Major League Rugby stars J.P. du Plessis and WWE legend John Bradshaw Layfield in our first ever Major League Rugby sports betting show, and our young guns, Colby Marshall in his martial law, Zach Lanning in his Zach attack, and, of course, our esteemed guests, Mr. Stephen Lewis, Mr. Daniel Power, and Mr. Brian Ray. And please, please, please sign up for our Rugby Wrap-Up American Red Cross Blood Donor Team. Stay with Rugby Wrap-Up.